human weaknesses. This is the day of your awakening. This day you become the MVP, most valuable person in creation. This is the day you exercise your right to live. This is the day you exercise your right to life. Awake, giant. Awake, warrior. Awake, lion. Awake, general. Awake, soldier. Awake, great mind. Moving with vitality and power. Exercise your alphabet. You are ability. You are breathing. You are creativity. You are discipline. Jump. Move faster. Think faster. Love faster. Today, you invest in self to save your life. You are the cause of what you cause. Exercise your ability, your breathing, your creativity, your discipline. Exercise, exercise, exercise.
Let's get this workout in.
Peace. Hotep, Alafia, Assalamu alaikum. Black laws for all black people. Good evening. Good morning, brothers and sisters. First-time listeners, we welcome you to another edition of the Sonic Ngoma. We are very happy and blessed to be with you again. I am Khamuo Heru with my co-host, Oba Oláyínká. We are a unified body of concerned people, visual artists, musicians, business owners, researchers, and truth seekers. Teachers and healers, our goal is to create dialogue surrounding music, culture, and politics as it relates to African people's sovereignty, autonomy, and economic empowerment. Here represented as the Urban Shaman Productions, African Independence Day Organizing Committee, and Be My Eye Incorporated. Before we jump into today's topic, we want to let you know that part of the Sonic Ngoma radio broadcast is brought to you by the Urban Shamans Production, African Independence Day Organizing Committee, and Be My Eye Incorporated, Heru Custodial Maintenance and Home Renewal. And of course, Do the Knowledge Radio. Welcome, everybody. Peace.
Peace, 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 family. What's going on? Abibifahoodie, Abibitumi, Wukusu.
All right. So we have a special guest here, Brother Devon Allah. Brother, you got to unmute your mic. Please, brother. All right. So we have a special edition of the Sonic Ngoma. All right. And we're going to be talking about health. We have the Brother Devon Allah here. So how everybody's feeling? How your week is going so far?
Well, brothers, like I was telling y'all backstage.
Peace.
I was telling y'all backstage, I'm ready and prepared. I did my morning meditations, prayers, and then I went into my morning workout. I was getting that all done while my son was resting. Now he's up. But I'm good, man. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good, charged, and I'm glad to have my brother, one and only Devon Allah of Mind Body Activism and the Bartenders with us in the house, live from his location in the gym in Trenton. And my brother, what's going on?
Hey, man. Salute, brother. Salute. You already know, man. I feel amazing, phenomenal, great, superb, magnificent, healthy, well. Another day to be wise. All that good stuff, man. Salute to you, brothers. I appreciate the opportunity, man, supremely. Salute to everybody out there listening and striving to take charge of their health. We know what's going on. We see what's going on. We hear it. Many of us feel it. And today is time, I guess, to go more in depth to, I guess, the reasons why we should strive to go even harder when it comes to our health and wellness. So salute, man. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Salute.
Absolutely. We definitely appreciate you. We've been working, I know I've personally been working with Brother Devon Allah for the last 5 years. He has been really integral to African Independence Day. I mean, every time we reach out to this brother comes with his squad, you know, a squad of bartenders, and they come and represent. It's such a beautiful demonstration. He also gets the audience to participate, and I'm always surprised to see who come and demonstrate, you know, and challenge themselves, you know, to in fitness. And so, you know, African Independence Day. Also, he always participated with the our Kwanzaa celebration, the pre-Kwanzaa celebration. Black Love. He brought him and his queen one year. I mean, it's definitely an honor to work with you, man. We really appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate what you do overall.
I go back almost 20 plus years.
That's right.
With knowledge, you know, like I said last week, you know, I walked the land with this man, like I walked the land with, you know, our guest, Brother King Samir. And so, you know, it's just been a great thing, you know what I mean, to know this brother and to understand what he's striving to do on all levels. I mean, from his activism, you know, with, you know, being that we, you know, both in the Nation of Gods and Earths, as well as his activism with the new Black Panther Party under the leadership of Baba Khalid Abdul Muhammad, the Honorable Baba Khalid Abdul Muhammad. And, you know, even to what he's doing currently with mind body activism and the bartenders and everything. This brother has always been a brother, always has supported me, and I can do nothing more but to support him and all of his efforts and what he's doing right there in the city of Trenton. And if anybody who knows about the city of Trenton and what is going on there, the violence that is ravaging the city, you know, in our neighborhoods and in our communities throughout the city of Trenton, knows and understands that Brother Devon is on the front lines whenever anything is going down in Trenton, as well as many of the other brothers that we commonly know. But Devon is always there, always has been there, and always will be there. And he's going to talk a little bit more about that because he has an initiative that he's working on, Stop the Violence initiative in the city of Trenton. But I like to actually pose the first question to you, and I think that it's very, very relevant. Yes. What got you started, or what concerns you about your own health and wellness that you were able to get your own health and wellness up and start mind body activism and you know, affiliate yourself with the legendary bartenders out of New York?
First and foremost, again, I want to salute you brothers for the awesome, phenomenal work you've been doing. First and foremost, man, I was a young, I think I was just turning in double digits, 10, 11 years old. I can remember like it was yesterday, my father, he didn't do too much talking. My father, very serious, young, and I mean young, strong Black man, worked hard. I remember him coming home one day and he said to my mother that he was having some chest pains. We were preparing to have dinner with the family. Again, I was one of those fortunate young brothers, even though we lived in the hood, smack dab in the ghetto, the projects, Downley Homes, we still had father around. I remember him saying he had chest problems. And my mother, LPN at the time, so she knew a little bit of what to do and how to approach what he was bringing to our attention. Come to find out, he had onset diabetes. And like I said, I was 10 or 11. My father was about 39 or 40 at the time. So within a year or two of the diabetes, I knew he had to get insulin. He had to take insulin at the time. Back then, you had to actually take the actual shot, either in your lower stomach area there and in your arm. And then eventually grew into pricking the finger to get the blood work. About a year, 2 years after that, that began to affect other areas because my family comes from down south, the way we were eating, the way I was eating at the time. My extended family, he developed colon cancer. So now it's diabetes and colon cancer. And he's only about 41 years old now. Then comes prostate cancer. Now, between the ages of 40 and 47, my father's body, his health began to slowly go down. And I saw this as a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old. So I think I was about 16 when he passed. And at age 47, he was out of here. That's the age I am now. So over those years, and this is before knowledge of self, Brother Oba, this is before I had a degree of knowledge of self. But coming into knowledge of self, you know, when you're young, we was getting that information, and the first thing we got that struck a chord was the gods don't eat pork. So my family, you know, we ate everything from the rooter to the tutor, especially me, because I love my father's cooking. And the extended family, the ribs, the collard greens with the neck bones in it and all that good stuff, man. And from then on, I said, okay, it's not going to be pork. So from age 16 to about 20, it was just giving up the pork. Then it got into, all right, no red meat, striving to deal with the less dairy. And I think it was turkey and fish was the last thing I gave up. So you're talking about a good 30 years now, the journey of health and wellness. The most specific reason was seeing my father go through the issue with his health. Chemotherapy at the time, his hair falling out. He couldn't work anymore. And just the health, the vibration of his health just went low and low, and he was out of here. So I'm, you know, when I say I'm awesome and I'm amazing and I'm phenomenal, I really embody that because I made it to the age that he made it to, but he was out of here because of his health. And my brother older than me, he just turned 49. My brother Kabir Allah. My oldest brother is now 50, about to be 51. And my sister, who's older than me, no, my oldest brother is 51. My sister is 50. Kabir is 49. I'm 47, and I'm looking to be 48 this year. So all of us have made it past the age that my father was out of here. My mother is still living. Salute to her life. She's doing well. Every now and then she calls me, even though she has some health issues. She always calling me, come over here and make me one of those smoothies you be making. Make me some of that green stuff you be making. You know, and she's pushing 80. So that's part of that, the journey, brother. Mind body activism came years later because, again, me having all mind, things we need to do with our mind as a people, all body, things we need to do with our body as a people. A lot of times we separate the two, just like activism and, you know, our revolutionary consciousness or our spiritual consciousness. We don't apply the activism to it. So a lot of our people miss out on the information we have because we only want to give it to them verbally or sometimes through theory. But the practical work is showing a person, yes, we have the spiritual consciousness. Yes, we have the revolutionary consciousness. But what about the physical consciousness or the health consciousness that we can apply every single day, every single hour, every single moment of our lives through exercise? So the mind body activism is driven from that point, showing our people, young people, older people, and everybody in between that we have to consider our health. Too many of us, you brothers know, the community knows, too many of us, if it's not due to so-called black on black street violence, senseless violence in the street, when it comes to our elders who've left us because of being assassinated, or they've transitioned because of health issues. We can go down the line, Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark, Baba Dale Jones, health issues. So our role is to project everything that Dr. Africa left us, Sister Queen Afua has given us, Dr. Sabi has left us, and many others that they've left us, and put it practical on the ground live for our people so they can see, man, I really need to take charge of my health. And I can do that through exercise. Yes, through meditating. Yes, through reading. Yes, through breathing and doing all of those good things. But exercise, movement is our medicine, brothers. So that's part of the journey from the beginning stages of the health up to and through mind-body activism being created, and then joining on with the world-renowned bartenders, the movement out of Harlem, New York, created by Hassan Yassin, also known as Giant, G-I-A-N-T, who founded the movement in the parks of Harlem. So
Wow.
that's part of that journey, brother.
Oh man, yeah, we definitely want to hear more about that. I just I want to just, you know, relate. Last week we came on, you know, of course, Saturday, and we had a discussion about fatherhood, and I shared with our viewers, similar to you, my father passed away before he turned 40. I am 43,
Wow.
His father passed away before he turned 40.
Wow.
And so, some of my students say, Mr. Johnson, you old. And I'm like, listen, I'm proud to be the age that I am because I outlived my father and my grandfather.
Yeah.
But I definitely, part of my journey has been a health conscientious journey for me, because I remember coming into knowledge, family members, one, especially my mother, was dealing with some illness, a girlfriend at the time, and my mother's husband was dealing with illnesses, and I wanted to be an example to them. And so, I did, I took a leap and, changed my lifestyle. But I was reading an article recently, and I mean, a lot of people know, and maybe people, may just think that what we talk about in terms of health is problematic. And this article was titled "The 7 Common Health Concerns African Americans Should Monitor." And so, one was heart disease, high blood pressure, cancers, diabetes, arterial disease, sickle cell. And the article talked about preventing these things. And so, I recently, had injured myself, lifting the equipment. And so during this whole COVID time, I've been like inactive. And so in the summertime, I said, listen, I can't dealing with this pain. So I recently, got back into, working out, and I mean, the pain went away. It didn't, I did not need any medicine. I didn't, the doctor prescribed me, some pain medicine. But, as soon as I started working out, the pain went away. So I'm just like committed to a daily routine of working out, keeping my body and my muscles, I'm tight and strong to, to avoid pain or other injuries.
That's beautiful, brother.
Yeah,
beautiful.
So I definitely,
well, in essence, you did need medicine, and all it was movement. You did need the medicine. It was just movement, man. Life depends on movement. I tell everybody, your body yearns every day. It's yearning for some degree of intentional movement, not the movement we're used to doing, going up the steps, getting in the car, getting up out of the bed. Those are kind of the movements we make voluntarily. We have to do that. But be intentional about it. Be intentional about going for that power walk. Be intentional about when you're squatting, noticing how your form is so you're not setting yourself up for injury. We have to be intentional about our movement. So when the medicine is applied in the system, it's working what it's supposed to work, so we can be well along with being healthy. Because a lot of us, we're healthy, but we're not well.
Okay.
It's another concept that we don't consider. Just like, a lot of us are vegans, but we still have health issues.
Okay.
Or a lot of us might exercise, but we might not have the proper, I don't like saying the word diet, the lifestyle that can really forge the health is not there. And vice versa. A lot of us who eat right, we don't have the other side of that, which is exercise and rest and things of that nature. So we always say health and wellness, not just health. It both has to go hand in hand.
There's harmony between the two.
Let me ask you this. Why is it that health and wellness is not looked at as being important, especially within the Black African community? And can you connect health and wellness to our liberation, to our sovereignty, to our liberation as African people? Talk about that for a minute.
Well, first of all, you have to remember, a lot of us, on one side, it's in us we know what we're supposed to do when it comes to health and wellness. We know it is in us. It's in our DNA. Grandmama, Nana, I got a headache. Nana, I got a cold. She knows. Go in there and drink some of that. Go in there and take some of that. Let me go grab you some of this. Let me go get some of this aloe. Let me rub your head. It's in us, but conditionally, the conditions we live in, we see Nike commercials and cigarette commercials, but we don't see commercials about being healthy. We see entertainers, very few, if any, maybe 5 that I know on my hands today, are even talking about health, promoting health. And if they are promoting anything about health, it's still driven from a commercialized perspective. So it's not that we don't, it's just that they have words, flash words they use now. You know, we live in food deserts and things of that nature. We just have to take a more concerted effort, family, as individuals, as families, so these things can grow in our community, so we can take charge of our health, man. And that's another point that we drive. Every minute you wake up and you breathe in a continuation of that breath of life, you should have taken charge of your health on your mind. But it's two sides of it also. As men in general, but Black men in particular, the issue of being in the hospital, going to see a doctor. Some of people could say, oh, it's ego. Men, you know, the conditional perspective, we're always thinking of, you know, I ain't got to see no doctor. I'm good. I'll just be strong. My father had that attitude. I have uncles and other friends in the community, brothers I know. They had that attitude, man. I ain't going to no doctor. I'm good. Chest killing them. I ain't going to no doctor. Legs, back killing them. My brother Solomon, the co-founder of Mind Body Activism, we always talk about how a brother will turn a bad leg, a bad knee, a bad ankle into a cool walk. You know, now you walking around the community, you know, knowing your back and your ankle and your hips are bad, but you cool because you covering it up. You compensating for that pain that you're dealing with. So all it takes is when we get into relationships, when we get in good friendships with people, for us to be more like, yo, brother, how you doing today? All right, I see you looking good. I see the car is nice. How's the family? Brother, how's your health? We got to snap each other to attention with that. Brother, how's the health? How's the family? Brother, how's the health? How's the back? How is that prostate, brother? How's the kidneys doing? When the last time you had a colonic? You know, it just has to be more of that, because as men, like I said, we so used to going to, you know, you seen the game last night. Oh man, you seen the fight. You see, we push that health, man. We have to push that health as brothers, and then we can be the ones to be that examples in our families. And again, the other side is, y'all know the sisters, the way they're brought up, they're nurturers. So naturally, they're going to have that lean to wanting to be healthy, wanting to take care of you. When you tell her, baby, you know, I got some issues with my head, she wants to take care of you. But it kicks in with us now. I'm good. I'm good. I'm just going to deal with it. But you know, you married in sickness and in health. We got to bring that fine balance, man, to us as individuals, families, and then be those examples for the community, brother. So it's not that we don't take care of our health. It's just that there's not been a concerted effort on the people activities that we're involved in on a daily basis. Some people are concerned, but a large percentage of us don't. We just don't care. But that's why you brothers are here. That's why I'm here, to keep applying pressure and to keep offering these jewels to our people so we can take charge of our health, brothers, because I don't care what we're dealing with out there in society. Yes, it's important we fight. Yes, it's important we take charge to build sovereignty, to gain our liberation, and do all of those beautiful things. That's definitely needed. But we can't fight and we unhealthy. We cannot hold post and we unhealthy. We can't continue to be in these fine platforms if we're unhealthy. We got to do things to stay healthy, to keep our health and wellness in the forefront. If not, I think we're doing ourselves a disservice, because we've seen the examples: high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, going blind because of our diet, prostate issues, reproductive issues. We've seen all the examples of those who've been on the front line for us. You can look at Johnny Cochran, health issues. I always mention our good brother Dale Jones from Philadelphia, health issues, man. Baba Shakamusa Barashango, Dr. Ben. So many, man, health issues, and many others, health issues. Even Dr. Khalid, you know, Dr. yes, there's some mess that we know took place from the government, but also, I mean, I knew for a fact he dealt with high blood pressure. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad in his later years, he was dealing with issues of pneumonia. So come on, man, these are things we can alleviate, totally alleviate from our internal environment through healthy lifestyles exercising more, doing a bit more to consider how important our health is, brothers, because this internal environment is affected by what's going on externally, especially if we're stressed out and frustrated by it. And now the time we're living in with all the health madness that's going on, then you got to deal with the social madness. That's a lot of stress for the mind to deal with. And we bring that stuff home. We stressed out because we got to deal with the police. We stressed out because the food that we're eating is causing internal stress, and our environment is the inside is like, hey, what's going on, man? You ain't moving. You ain't doing nothing to help me move this stuff out of you. Your body doesn't want you to be stressed. Your body doesn't want you to be frustrated. Your body wants to purge that stuff. Those systems inside of your body wants to constantly work and do what it's supposed to do, but it needs your assistance. You know, we ignore it, brother. Always use the example of the engine light. When those engine lights come on, we ignore it. We keep riding around. And all it could be is something as simple as your car may need some rest. Readjust the wires. Something real simple. But you keep riding and riding and riding, going hard, being on the front line, fighting police brutality, fighting oppression, trying to deal with education, trying to deal with the family, trying to deal with me. You know that, Baba. I know that's a little bit of stress you're dealing with. That's good stress, though. You're dealing with that young one right there. And those of you who have children out there, you're dealing with the stress of relationship. You're dealing with the stress if you're employed out here. You're dealing with the stress of trying to be that entrepreneur, that business person, your career. Those things bring stress onto the body. And your body is like, okay, I mean, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. But have you considered just going for a walk, brother Khamuo? Have you considered just going on an intentional, you know, just getting a few push-ups in, getting out there in nature? Have you considered that also? Because, you know, the engine light is on. You can't keep ignoring it. Eventually, it's going to let you know what you have been doing and what you haven't been doing. And your health will be affected one way or another, man. So it's not that we don't, brother Oba. It's just that it's just so much to deal with. So the examples have to be given through, yes, the Dr. Sebis, who gave us one side of it, but we also need the other side, which is practical application. And that's how we bring the activism through exercise, considering your fitness. So
how's it connected directly to our liberation? Now, a lot of people say, well, what does health got to do with?
Can I ask a question?
Oh. No, go ahead. By all means, go ahead. Now, go ahead, God.
Yeah, normally I'm in the background, but since we got Brother Divine Allah here, I wanted to know how he deals with the shift in thought with getting, you know, the clients, the brothers and sisters that he works with, to adopt the proper eating habits. I know you working and dealing with clients on a personal basis. That shift right there has a mental awareness focus with it as well. You know, a lot of people are eating for coping mechanisms. You see what I'm saying? Dealing with a lot of, you know, mental illness and things like that, you know, in our community, food becomes a coping mechanism. So how are you able to break that cycle between someone who has that kind of schism in their life to, you know, now using exercise, using wellness as a coping mechanism versus what the food was?
Right. Beautiful question, brother. Now, early on in my personal training journey, I was hard on pushing meal plans. You know, I come from for those who like to use the term vegan, plant-based, the popular terms now, I'm really hard on people not putting anything dead or so much process into this vehicle, into this vessel. I was hard on that in the beginning when I first got my certification. But I've learned some of what you're talking about, some of what you're alluding to, the what they call the psychological side of fitness and exercise and personal training. I get people who don't even want to come to the gym because they have that schism of people going to see me. I have that. Some people don't even want to be at the park. Same thing. People going to see me. Those are things to fight with as trainers, or things to adjust as trainers in your in my conscience, because I wanted to go hard. Come on, let's get your session in. Let's get it. We getting it today. I had to readjust and reapproach the ways I came at a person who's a straight athlete. Ball players want to get it in, but then here comes somebody who had a knee replacement. Then here comes somebody who just has back issues. Here comes somebody in their 70s. Divine, I love what you're doing, brother. I'm just trying to walk up and down the steps and not, you know, be heavy breathing. So what they're eating is considered, but it has to be a fine balance in how they approach health and wellness. See, most people will, there's a generational thing in fitness and exercise also. You get that late teens to maybe mid 30s who are concerned about looks, because the trend is designer fitness. It looks good. Instagram, YouTube, put my picture out there. After 35, 40 to 50 years old, they're more concerned about, I need to lift some groceries. I need to walk back and forth to the car. I'm trying to walk around the supermarket. I'm trying to stand up and do some dishes without having knee issues and feet issues. Now, the food, yes, is important, but a lot of people, that's the most challenging area, because if they coming to me and they already 30 or 40 years old, it's going to be difficult, even with a meal plan, trying to say, forget eating all vegetables. I'm just saying, drink more water. Mm-hmm. You starting from the letter A before you even get the letter B. Drink more water, drink more room temperature water. Start including more vegetables. Man, that's like talking to 10 walls, not one, because here are people, they want to exit. All they've seen is, I can get my abs right. I got vacation coming up. I got a wedding coming up. They not thinking about a plate that has green on it.
That's right.
They still thinking about a plate that has fried food on it. So I have to, again, I got to take me out of the mix. Even though I'm the trainer, I got to take me completely out the mix. They still want to have that chicken on their plate. They still want to have that fried, the greasy stuff on their plate. So what I do, I have, you know, a little thing I do. I don't trick them. I help them progress along the process, along the journey. I go hard in the session, even if it's a bit moderate, light intense. I go hard. I try to get them to understand while they're moving the connection. Yes, sis, you breathing hard because, you know, you ate after 9 o'clock last night. So now they're not just getting it through me just pouring so much on into them about the badness of the health or the way they're eating. They're getting it while they're moving, and that's how we are. You know, we touchy, we feely people. When you're moving around doing those jumping jacks, and I'm saying, yeah, you breathing hard because of that ice cream you ate last night. Now they're getting it from they laughing. Now they're getting it from, okay, he's saying, okay, he knows. He's feeling, he has a more interconnectedness to my journey. It's not just me trying to pour a whole bunch of stuff on them, because that will eventually turn them off. And that's what I've learned, Brother Knowledge Born. And that's the approach that I take with people when it comes to eating. I don't push meal plans on people anymore. I just offer the suggestion, a little bit of advice. When you come get it in with Divine, you know you're going to hear something about greens. And I have a thing what I do with all the clients, few times a month. All my clients are exposed to, and I treat them, we go to a vegan restaurant. It's part of your training program. It's mandatory, the same way it's mandatory that you get 3 or 4 days in working out. Once or twice of a month, you go into a restaurant. You're going to be exposed to why it's important to eat less salt. Why it's important to eat more vegetables. Why is it important to have room temperature water? Why is it important to drink 30 minutes before you eat, 30 minutes after you eat? Why is it important to not talk so much while you eat it? Oh, that's part of the process too. And now they're saying, wow, they never made those type of connections. So now it's easier for them to digest it, pun intended, to digest it. It's easier for them to digest it as opposed to the way I know I would be earlier on. You got to eat this. You can't do them push-ups. No, you got to eat this. It's too much. And a lot of our people, like you said, it creates more of a mental frustration for them to say, damn, I got to eat right too. And I just came to do some push-ups and jumping jacks with you, Divine. I'm just trying to walk up the steps and but not breathing so hard, brother. Now I got to eat right now. I got to do that too. It's too much going on up there. So it has to be done through a fine, well-refined process. And I believe that's why 199% of the people that I've worked with in the past 6-7 years have stayed, and they've extended the invitation to their family, friends, and co-workers. That's what keeps me going, brother. And I appreciate the support. People, they come with all type of questions, and they see me being the example also. Brother, man, you always got so much energy. Man, you always shining. They see the example. And when they say, man, how you got so much energy? I say, because I didn't eat after 8 o'clock last night. I saw your picture on Facebook, sister such and such. I saw you when you was on vacation. That's because I wasn't eating shrimp scampi at 2 in the morning. You know, and they laugh, but they made the connection. All right, you know, so is a way to approach that and not be so forceful. And I know a lot of us as trainers can be like that. So.
Right. Well, you know, I have some questions, and I wish I really would have set this room up, but I got a question. You know, dealing with this strengthening my back, I'm just like, you know, doing what makes sense. I know you in the gym. Maybe you could give me some, you know, some pointers on a proper way of exercise strengthening my lower back.
Okay.
Yeah, do a demonstration. Do a demonstration, Almighty.
Yes, sir. First, I'm gonna show you one thing. I see y'all brothers are sitting down. It's good if y'all should invest in one of these physio balls, we call it. It's good.
Oh, I have one. We have one.
Investment, yes. You know, you can get any size. It's good, especially if you're sitting down a lot. Very good for the posture. It's consistently, it's constant, second by second, helping you keep that body in place. Okay? Something like that is a good investment. Another good exercise for your back, depending on if you don't have any other issues going on, is to consider your posture. Because lower back is related to issues that's going on with your shoulders. Okay, a lot of people, let me give you a small backdrop to how we approach lower back exercises before we actually do the exercise. I look at how your ears may line up with your shoulders from the side. If there's a lot of this going on daily, you know, a lot of times we get that through texting, sitting at the desk, hunched over shoulders. That affects lower back. Okay, so you might be saying, let me just go at working on my lower back, and you ain't even thinking about what's going on up here. Okay, so everything, we call it the kinetic chain. It's all connected. And you have your upper back, those shoulders across to each one. Then you have down into the mid back, the thoracic area in the middle. And then you have the lower back into the glutes, those muscles. And then you also have the heels of your feet. My sisters, they're wearing high heels. We can work out 20 times a month. If you're wearing high heels, those 5-inch, those 8-inch heels, you at your job, you walking around, you're going to sit down. I don't care what I'm doing. Push-ups, pull-ups, some stretching. Even if you're going to do your yoga, heels, they have that push in on those nerves in that ankle, the bottom of your foot, and it causes your foot to be on a angle. This is how it is when it's walking. But when it's on that angle like this all day, the heel of your foot is similar to your low back, which eventually turns into knee issues, which eventually turns into low back issues. A lot of sisters I know that work out, Divine, I'm doing this working out, I'm treadmill, I'm going to my yoga, I'm going to my sessions, I'm getting Pilates, but I still got back issues. Sister, what kind of shoes you wear to work every day? Or at least 4 days of the week? Oh, I wear my heels. Well, there you have it. So it's other connectors to that lower back, brother. So you might have to, well, not might, you should want to address that posture, just leaning up against a wall every now and then, putting your arms up in a nice, what we call T form or W form, making sure the shoulders are back on the wall, the back of your head is touching the wall, your glutes are touching the wall, and you just do some basic like this, up against the wall, but keep everything in line, ears, shoulders, and keeping those hands right along the wall, pushing up to the wall. So do that, and then we'll go into the balance of the lower back. Okay?
Okay.
Something simple as that. I mean, there's more, but that's something basic. Don't just say, oh, I got lower back. Consider the connecting piece. And that's that upper back, those shoulders.
Yep. I appreciate that.
Okay? Everything works in sync.
I appreciate that. All right. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the programs that you have. Yeah, could you describe and go into the programs that you have?
Yeah. Brad. All right. All right. One main thing we strive to promote. We talk about liberating the minds and hearts of our people. We didn't just want to be so hard on the activism. We know we got that. We got that. We know we got being on the front line. But as you brothers know, in order to maintain and sustain over a longer period of time, so when we're not here, and we won't be here forever, we have to leave legacy. We have to institutionalize this awesome work that we do. So what we decided to do with mind body activism was create a way for, because I get a lot of sisters, you know, they have children. They bring their children to the gym and they, you know, hey, sit down. They tell their babies to sit down. And I'm like, nah, they can get some exercise too. As a matter of fact, babies are the best trainers. They teach you how to walk. They get you back to those basics: crawling, walking, rolling, lifting their heads up. They're constantly in the degree of moving and exercising. Very good, Baba. When that young one start crawling, crawl around with him. Awesome exercise, brother. We keep bear crawls and rolling around. That's like our prerequisite to a lot of the workouts that we do. Definitely bear crawling, crawling around like a baby. Definitely good exercise. We created a legacy here. We institutionalized some of the work through our fit, focused, fun activity booklet. The Trenton Public School District actually bought into, you know, we had to chase them down a little bit, but they bought into us creating a handheld booklet. You know, it has our mind body activism bartenders word search puzzles. Every puzzle deals with words that build character, build attitude, build personality, words that dealing with anatomy, simple everyday exercise. We also have statistics in here about obesity, when to eat, how not to eat so much sugar. Man, it's awesome information. This is volume 1. Unfortunately, when the situation with this coronavirus took place, the school shut down, and we had just got our hands on 1,000 copies of these for the new Trenton High Public School here in Trenton. So we're waiting for the school to open back up so this can be a part of their health department. This was actually bought and paid for by the health department at Trenton Central High School. And so for the next few years, we're trying to get this into all the schools in Mercer County where I live, but throughout this country. Because remember when we were young, they had a booklet called, what was it? Dare to Say No. Remember they came up with those booklets, you know, how not to smoke drugs and all that type of stuff. I mean, even though, you know, we knew what that dealt with, the war on drugs, whatever, but it did have information in it, where to go to if you need help, how to not, if you're approached by a person who's trying to sell you some drug, you know, what to say. So I said that, man, we could take that same approach, but use some more, you know, revolutionary push behind it. You know, I have examples of in here, you know, if you're going to be doing a push-up, proper form. It's also interactive. We have question and answers. You can win something. Just go on Instagram and check out the page or the website. So it's very interactive. And this has been one of our driving forces for the school system. For those who have home schools, we want to get this in them. And for the public schools that our children are going to, so they can have something in hand. You go to a doctor's office, you catching a flight. This is something you could be reading yourself as a parent and with your child, with the word search, good information about the benefits of physical activity. Awesome piece that we put together because I said We're not going to be, I'm not going to be on that pull-up bar when I'm 100 years old. I mean, I would love to, but let's leave some legacy. And then let's institutionalize it into, like we have here right now. I'm at the legendary Ike Williams Boxing Academy. Ike Williams was a profound, awesome, amazing black boxer out of the 40s and 50s. If you look up his history, a lot of what he was doing prior to the big ticket boxers that came later on with the Muhammad Ali's, Ike Williams had consciousness where he was trying to get black boxers on point when it comes to boxers union, black boxers unions. But the other side, they fought against him. And even though he was a world champion, he was right here, born, raised in Trenton, right in this New Jersey area. He's one of our heroes. So we named the gym after Ike Williams. And this is our home. This is base one. This is where we get it in at. Black owned, black operated. And again, it's an institution, but it's forging legacy. It's forging things that we know we can keep behind, leave behind, so when people don't see Divine on the front line anymore. When you're that baby right there you have, that little Watoto right there, Baba, he'll have a way, he'll be creating volume 50 of this. You know, this is volume 1, we're working on volume 2. So this is us saying, even if you're not doing a lot of exercise, you can be exercising your mind. Not physically moving, here's a way for you to exercise your mind. It's fun, but it's definitely fit focused.
Wow.
That's one of the programs. But that's one of the main ones we push, along with the other activism out there in the street. Man, it's all connected. I don't know how to separate the activism. I wasn't brought up like that. It's, you know, if you're a revolutionary janitor, as Dr. Khalid Muhammad used to say, be a revolutionary janitor. Pick up the pieces, use that broom, use that mop bucket. It's all a tool of war. If you're a writer, if you're a poet, your poetry should fuel the backdrop to what's going on them front lines. You know, I don't know how to separate it. You know, my activism is fueled by what I know is needed on the front line. I know what's needed out there. One, brothers got to and sisters got to be on point. We got to lose weight. We got to manage weight. We got to learn when and when not to be eating all the time. It's so much stuff, but I understand some of us have certain lanes that we want to stay in, but sometimes the lanes merge. When you're traveling, you have lanes that merge. Fitness has to match up with how much spiritual consciousness we have. You can't have one without the other. It just goes hand in hand, brother. So for me, it's not a separation of what programs. I'm the program. I'm the example. When you see me, you see the program. Okay. When you see me, you don't see nothing separated from the look. You see RBG. I make a point for people who thinking like, you know, I don't want to be around Divine, and then, you know, he might start talking that black stuff if I only came to do some push-ups. Okay, I won't be beating you upside your head like I knew I would at one time, but you're gonna always see the RBG. You're gonna, matter of fact, okay, man, you 58 years old. I ain't got to beat you upside the head, but guess what? The workout we doing today is called the Harriet Tubman. 3 sets of 7, 3 sets of 7, 3 sets of 7. All exercises on the floor. That's called the Underground Railroad. So we doing a Huey P. Newton hand set, y'all. We doing the Garvey workout today. So they like, you know, what's that about? Go home and look up Marcus Garvey. So it just flows because it's who I am. You know, I embody it. I don't know how to separate it. And when they see it, now you got nurses at school saying, hey, Mr. Divine, you know, little 8-year-old Sean, those problems he was having yesterday, whatever you told him about Huey P. Newton, he was really excited about it. He's waiting to do the Huey P. Newton workout again. The nurse might not know, or she probably went and looked it up, but that young brother is now inspired because he done heard me say, no, do that Huey P. Newton handshake. No, make sure you got the Huey Newton. So it's not just implied, it's embedded in the work that we do. Mind body activism. So there you have it, brother.
Yeah, it's a genius approach. We've definitely seen you many times demonstrate that at the Kwanzaa. You know, you have people doing push-ups, spelling Kwanzaa, you know, spelling the different principles out. You know,
yes, sir. That's right.
Even at African Independence Day every year.
That's right.
And people love you, man. I mean, the response that we get back from both African Independence Day and our pre-Kwanzaa celebration, man, it's phenomenal, man. You know, and that's what it's all about. You know, we strive to approach things on this show, and even, you know, what we do with African Independence Day from a holistic perspective. There are various different fronts that we as Black people, as African people, have to fight on, and that is our charge into to show our people or to demonstrate to our people a way in which we can holistically fight this battle, fight this enemy, fight this thing, you know, called so-called white supremacy or global European imperialism. We have to fight it on many different fronts, and health and wellness is a key to that, because it's a key to longevity. Because this war that we're in, this war in which we're being warred upon at the moment, is a marathon, not a sprint.
That's right. That's right. And I appreciate it, man. Y'all brothers, the first time you invited us, I was like, man, listen, we get out there and I can't wait to get back. And it doesn't matter how old you are in age, and it doesn't matter how young. Y'all see the response last year. I still got that video on my phone. That brother, I think he was 76 or 77. He got down. I was like, yeah, let me see 8 push-ups. He did like 17. We was all count. I got that on my phone still, man. I posted that. People, you never know who you're inspiring. And then we ran into the other elder at the pre-Kwanzaa. That brother got up there and did pull-up. So you never know, man, young and old. And as long as you, again, you don't have to beat people upside the head. Sometimes you might have to, though. People always say you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. Sometimes you got to take that horse head and push it down in that water. That's my approach sometimes, because a lot of us, we play or we deny ourselves greatness sometimes. Yeah, lead people to the water. And if you see that they really got the strength and they got that effort and that boldness in them, push their head in that water and let them feel that wetness. Let them feel that intensity of not being able to breathe. Because if you want life, if you want greatness that bad, you're going to get it the way you want this breath in your body. So sometimes you might have to lead them to the water and then push their head down in the water, y'all. That's my approach. I'm not with the just leading people to the water. No, we jumping in.
Right.
Y'all, you're going to feel the intensity of that water. You're going to feel that wetness. You're going to feel the intensity of being about to drown, because your life, your health is that important. And a lot of times we don't look at it like that, because, again, nowadays, everything is trendy. Everything is, what can I post real quick? I just want the abs. I just, you know, I'm going to a wedding. I'm going on vacation. I'm like, we don't accept that. If you will sign up with me, what you doing after the vacation? What you doing after the wedding? What are you doing when it comes to your everyday health and wellness? Because on one side, I can say to brothers and sisters, it's important, yes, do your push-up, do your pull-up, get your walk in. But on the other side, I want to know, how functional are you in your day-to-day activity? Can you sit on the toilet without bending over, without straining because you're constipated? Can you really walk up those steps in good form so you're not injuring your ankle? Can you really bend down and tie your shoe? All tying the shoe is a lunge. That's a lunge exercise, tying your shoe. Sitting on the toilet ain't nothing but a squat. Reaching up above to get something off the refrigerator, that ain't nothing but a shoulder reach. So I don't let people off the hook when it comes to health and wellness, brothers. I just can't do it, because I know how serious it is, whether it's from my father or whether it's from seeing so many people in our generation up out of here because of health. So we got to be serious about it, man. You can't slack when it comes to health and wellness around me, especially when I know that you have something in you that's really important to you. You know, don't just let your health fall to the wayside, man, because it's a challenge to get it back to its optimal shape and optimal performance when you let it go.
All right, brother, before we run out of time, it's summertime. So before we run out of time, we just wanted to get your contact information. So
one more question real quick.
One more question.
Go into real quickly the initiative that you got going on in Trenton, the Stop the Violence initiative that you and I had talked about earlier this week that you wanted to go into a little bit?
Yes. All right. First, as always, inspired by the work that our brothers are putting in all over the country in addressing a lot of the senseless violence in the street among our youth. We have the Trenton Anti-Violence Coalition, which is basically a resurgence work we've been doing. But again, some of the lanes became single, but now they're merging again. And we see a lot of people out here attempting to address only one angle of the issue that's affecting us in the community. Yes, it's police brutality. But on the flip side is some inner things that we have to deal with, those who know and those who understand what's going on with a lot of our young brothers. Young people, yes, but definitely a lot of our younger brothers, man. They need guidance. They need us to start having those ciphers again. They need us to be on these corners again. So we have one initiative along with Trenton Anti-Violence Coalition, which is a group of voices, but all directed by Black consciousness, all directed by the concept of Black power. It's not just anybody part of the coalition talking about, oh, we just got to wait, give it. No, it ain't that. We serious about getting out here, being on the front line, showing our young brothers, one, man, somebody cares about your life. Somebody cares about that life that you thinking about going to take out of here, brother. Both sides of this issue is going to be dealt with if you affected through shooting up the block. Both sides are going to be affected. So we address, confront, and deal with both sides of the coin of the so-called Black on Black violence, but we call it, there's a new word that we're putting out to the community. It's called proximity-based violence, because there is white on white violence. There is Black on Black violence. There is Asian on Asian violence. People do it because of who they're close to. It's called proximity-based. So it's a misnomer to say Black on Black violence and leave that in this big vacuum by itself, and people to just keep attacking it. Oh, what about Black on Black violence? No, it's called proximity-based violence. But we addressed it from a cultural standpoint, where we galvanize the people, and from a political educational standpoint, where we push the backdrop of this inner city senseless violence is an outgrowth. It's a symptom of, it's a cause of a cause of a cause of a cause of the conditions we've been living in for so long. So when we bring this out to the young brothers in the street, they hear it from a place of love, not from a place of just coming to beat up on them. Even though we come hard and say, come on, brothers, that little girl ain't supposed to be getting caught up in this. If you true to your brotherly love, override oppression and destruction code. If you true to your community revolution and progress code, if you true to that, the babies and the elders ain't supposed to be getting touched. So somewhere somebody done went left. So since we know those codes, we bring that to the block too. So the initiative is just not anti-violence coalition, is also we pulling up on your block. So what do we mean pull up? If I was to see you and I'm saying I'm pulling up on your block, one side you might say, oh, they might come out here and try to do something, pulling up on your block or pushing up on your block. Notice the lingo, pulling up. We pull up, pop the trunk, and pull out our portable pull-up bar. So you ain't thinking about violence after you get one of our sets in, set the rep from the bar. We pop the trunk, we pull out our pull-up, we pull out the dip bar. So now I got brothers on the block, whether they strapped or not, whether they pushing their weight or not, whatever they doing. By the time we get about 20 minutes in, that's somebody that didn't catch a bullet in those 20 minutes or those hours that we out there pulling up on the block. So it's a whole concept initiative, and it's a way to really drive the point of how we can forge more unity among our brothers, because that can turn into healthy competition out there on the block. Y'all know how we get. Oh, he did 40 push-up. Oh man, hold my weight, hold my joint. I'm doing 50. So again, man, we have to be innovative if we're going to attract our young brothers and sisters. And that concept came from what I saw the bartenders doing in the parks. When we talk about character, attitude, personality, which a lot of our people, especially our younger people, don't have, we say, nah, brother, you ain't just pushing up. You pushing up your character when you do those push-ups. And your character is supposed to teach me something. How great are you when nobody's around? How great are you when you got that gun in your waist and you thinking about going to shoot another great person that might be just like you? Mm-hmm. What's your attitude like, brother? Let's put your real functional moving, your thinking cap on, brother. That's CAP, character, attitude, personality. So we push a whole educational backdrop inside of the initiative of addressing the violence, man, that I know nobody really has not approached yet in the city of Trenton. So the bartenders forged that concept. I mean, I'm talking about before I even got into exercising the way I am now, before I was certified, they was doing this stuff, man, pulling up your character, pulling up your attitude, being a giant. That's where he gets the name from. All of us are giants. Growing is a noble thing. All of us are thugs, talented humans under great stress. So we figured out a way to, like I said, innovate, evolutionize, and revolutionize the wordplay. So when we reach our brothers and sisters, they saying like, hey, man, they wasn't even making that connection. Brother, you ain't just pulled up your body, you just pulled up your mind. Mm-hmm. So why would a pulled up mind, why would a high vibration, high frequency mind want to go hurt somebody else? So that's that concept, brother, with anti-violence with us. That's one level of it. Mm-hmm.
All right. So once again, how could we get in contact? How can our viewers get in contact with you?
Yeah, for a session or personal session or, class.
Gotcha. We have the website, mindbodyactivism.com. My direct number is 609-338-2236. Or my brother Solomon, 609-577-4699. I do offer personal training sessions. They're just opening up some of the gyms again for personal training, one-on-one in New Jersey now because of what's going on. We don't have phases like they do over in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We have it just straight opening back up the gyms, some of the daycare centers. I can do personal training, and the parks are now open back up. So I'll be pushing our group trainings, 6 to 15 or 7 to 15 people in a group, as long as we're doing what they consider social distancing out there at the park. So personal and group training, you can call my number, 609-338-2236. You can text me. You can also check out the lives that I do on Facebook every Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. and Monday and Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. I'm always doing a live, so you can go back and check some of those other videos that we've done. It's almost like having a Facebook subscription now. People still calling me saying they're doing workouts from 3 weeks ago on Facebook Live, and I appreciate the support, man. People have responded very well. Every age.
I'm always on there checking you out.
Yes, sir. Good, thanks, Lord, and keep pushing, man. Keep pushing. And you can also check out bartenders.com and check out all the other teams that's out here getting it in. I got a good brother out there in Chicago, my brother EB30X, EB Fit in Chicago. Check him out on Facebook, Instagram. You also have definitely bartenders, all the teams worldwide, bartenders that influence people. I have a good sister right here in Trenton, Body by Kenya. Another sister, Napone Martin. My brother Eric Fuquan, also on Facebook. And many others that I salute in their work of keeping people dedicated, keeping people inspired, and committed to take charge and help. There's so many to name, but I appreciate all the trainers out there. I'm just one cell amongst millions that's striving to keep this body intact, man, mind and body. That's our approach. Most people just approach the body, but us is all mind, all body against sickness, disease, and illness. That's the mind-body activity approach. Basic, simple, and holistic health and wellness, y'all.
Good things, brother. All right, so we got brother Allah, Divine Allah information posted in the chat. Hit the button up if you want to get with him, consultation. I
was going to ask Naj, our engineer, producer, and creator of Do Naj Radio. What's up? You got a question or comment?
Yeah, I just got a quick question. Did you think about putting out a workout video series and also like a book? Or do you have or look to have like some certification? Like you can certify, or are you able to certify people as well?
I'm not on the level of certifying people yet. However, we have created actual training systems. The one I do on Facebook Live, that's Body Blast. That's made and created by yours truly. We also have, I don't know if you saw earlier, our Mind Body Activism Fit Focus Fun Activity booklet. It's more of a handout, but it's, you know, 7 to 9 pages of info that, you know, basically statistics based, but also information that we apply to basic health and wellness. This is just volume 1, very first, the premier copy, and that will grow to hopefully 200 copies one day. And I am looking forward to an actual video-based trainings. However, the type of approach that we've always wanted to do is live and in person. The reason, you know, I've taken the Facebook Zoom route is because of what's been going on. People couldn't come out. However, I'm trained and certified in postural aesthetics, ergonomics, and functional movement screening, along with the other stuff that we do with basic exercise. So I'm a in-your-face person. I have to be there. I want to see your form. Sometimes doing it over a screen is not necessarily good, but if we have to do it, we'll do it, and I'll make sure things are slowed down, things are modified, so you're getting the fullness of the training session. But in person is best, and some of the certifications I have, it's better that I do it in person. So when the videos do come out, and I want to definitely work with you, brother, sooner than later down the line to put some of that stuff out there, but definitely keep it RBG'd up in the backdrop, playing some Malcolm, you know, having those images up there and teaching people while they're moving, they're getting the indirect consciousness hit them at the same time while they're learning about proper plank form and push-up form. So yes, all of that is definitely on the way.
Awesome.
Awesome. Right. Definitely.
Well, like I said, pretty soon we'll be opening back up our facility for the public. Like I said, the legendary Ike Williams Boxing Academy, for those who want to know, is located at 11 New Jersey Avenue, and that's Trenton, New Jersey, off of Olden Avenue. That's 11 New Jersey Avenue, right here in the city of Trenton, New Jersey. The legendary Ike Williams Boxing Academy. Personal training, sports conditioning, and matter of fact, I'm gonna just let y'all walk with me, brothers, real quick. Let y'all walk with me. This is some of my personal training area. You see right here, some of our little area right here when you first come in, and we also come into the main area. If you can see how big this is, man, we got our big boxing ring. Yeah, this is base 1, brothers. This is ground 0 for health and wellness in Trenton, for mind, body activism, and bartenders. This is where we get it in at if we're not out at the parks. This is base 1 right here. This is home. The legendary Ike Williams Boxing Academy, where we have one of our young local champions here, 11-0, professionally, Michael Hilton, who started out in the street, young brother out there banging, getting it in, and he was snatched up by our head trainer here, brother Eric O. Judkins, and now he's a 11-0, 9 knockout professional young boxer with some other up-and-coming young amateurs right here from the legendary Ike Williams Boxing Academy. This is base 1, ground 0. This is where we at, brothers.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
So once again,
legendary Ike Williams Boxing Academy.
Awesome, man.
Definitely.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, once again, I've got brother. We love very, very much. Who's connected and as a part of the African Independence Day family, the one and only, the God, Divine Allah. Thank you for being with us this Saturday.
Peace. Salute.
And it's truly a pleasure, man.
Salute. Keep pushing, y'all. Keep working out. Stay dedicated. Stay committed. It's not a destination. It's a journey.
Yes, sir.
And you just met me along the way.
Yeah.
And I'm going to help you navigate and do the best you can to stay committed to that journey, man. Salute to that greatness, y'all. Salute.
Yeah. And we'll be staying connected with you.
Yeah.
Definitely, we're trying to get this RBG Fit Club chapter up in Philly.
Yes.
So we're gonna work on that. You and Brother Farugh, myself, Brother Khamuo. So we'll definitely be in touch.
Yes. Salute.
And
Salute the
definitely,
stick in press. Yep.
yeah. So we want to definitely, thank Brother Divine for being here. We want to give our information. So, Brother Khamuo, you can give our information on how to contact us, the African Independence Day Organizing Committee.
Yes. All the information is in the chat if they want to get in contact with Brother Divine Allah on Facebook. His website and his phone number is up in the chat. So definitely hit Brother Allah up. We had a question about how much the book cost, Brother Divine.
The books are $7.
Okay. And they can get in contact with you directly if they want.
That's correct. And you can also put at NJ_MindBodyActivist on Instagram. NJ_MindBodyActivist.
Okay, got you.
NJ_MindBodyActivist.
Yep, I got you. So that's it for this week for another edition of the Sonic Ngoma. We are the African Independence Day Organizing Committee. We are, you can contact us at africanindependenceday.org. You can get us at africanindependenceday@gmail.com. You can also contact us by phone at 267-521-1544. We want to thank all of our viewers who joined us. Thank you for joining us for another edition. We will be here next week, next Saturday at 11 a.m. For another edition of Sonic Ngoma.
Also, they can contact us on our Facebook page, which is 16th Annual African Independence Day My Eye Celebration, as well as you can contact us on Instagram, always at African_Independence Day. And we will definitely have an announcement next week for you all about the 16th Annual African Independence Day My Eye Celebration on August the 1st. This year's theme will be Culture is Our Immune System, and it will be virtual. It will be simulcast on Zoom as well as Due to Knowledge Radio. So we all want you to join us for that big announcement next week. Look out for the virtual flyer on both Instagram and Facebook this week. It will be on. So we want you all to prepare yourselves for our virtual experience, the 16th Annual African Independence Day My Eye Celebration. And with that, for myself, Brother Oba Oláyínká, my co-host, and my brother Khamuo Heru, as well as Farugh Maat, who is at a Black Men's Health Conference, who will be updating us next week on. We'll see you all next week, as well as let me give the drummer some. Give it to our brother, producer, engineer, our brother, the great knowledge born Allah of Due to Knowledge Radio. We couldn't do it without you, brother. The fourth wheel right there. So with that, I'd like to say peace. Abibifahoodie, Abibitumi, Wakusu, race first, Black Power.
Hey, don't touch my eleke. You may think they pretty, but to me it's not for play. Power in my jewelry clear the scene like an AK. Full body protection looking clean every day they show. Hey, don't touch my eleke. You may think they pretty, but to me it's not for play. Power in my jewelry clear the scene like an AK. Full body protection looking clean. And I say I shit. I gotta say I shit. I shit. And I say I shit. Elegba, Oshun, and Obatala. And I say I shit. Okio, I shit. And I say I shit. And Boya, and Shanga. more and get more job. I got it, currency in my pocket, nature around my neck, front and center I rock it. Never tuck them, so folk wanna touch them, they need to stop it. Trying to find them on lines like mine, you never cop it. My Eleke is living, reason why I be winning. Jealous of my position, but I'm just at the beginning. Demonizing the forces, no intercourses I'm giving. Christians feel like I'm sinning the way the heavens be bending for me. I'm in the flow, I get the dope, I'm giving more. It's reciprocal. Every dose could be poison or be medicinal. Truth is blatant to those who know what to listen for. Yeah, a treasure chest in every mic check. Steady at an altitude and we ain't on the flight check. Calling me the champion, I ain't even want to fight yet. Moochers sticking to us for that juju that they might get. Hey, don't touch my Eleke. You may think they pretty, but to me it's not for play. Power in my jewelry clear the scene like an AK. Full body protection looking clean every day they so. Hey, don't touch my Eleke. You may think they pretty, but to me it's not for play. Power in my jewelry clear the scene like an AK. Full body protection looking clean. And I say I share. Somebody say I share. I share. I share. And I say I share. Hey, go, Babalua, yeah, and Ika. I say I share. I share. I share. And I say I share. For Josie, for Boom, and for Rumia.
I got them holy beads around my neck. Them sacred guides on deck. Yep, thickest protection all around. Kosi Wahala, big blessings abound. I'm open to receive all the things this universe is laid at my feet, and I'm walking yellow brick road and laid with gold. Oh yeah, I get it from my mama. She reigning on her throne. La de koju, Oriye Oshun. Hell, sea water goddess. Keep that blade and some honey. Lord, she just keep going. Hold the stop when she gets started. A river flowing, anointed from head to toe. Baptized, got Orisha by my side. Then my eagle all around. Ain't nothing stopping me now. Full force on them, full glow on them. Spirit realm said go, so I move for them. A walking altar.
And I say I share. I share. I share. And I say I share. And I say I share. I share. I share. And I say I share. And I say I share. I share. I share. And I say I share. And I say I share. I share. I share. And I say I share. Hey, don't touch my Eleke. You may think they pretty, but to me it's not for play. Power in my jewelry clear the scene like an AK. Full body protection looking clean every day they so. Hey, don't touch my Eleke. You may think they pretty, but to me it's not for play. Power in my jewelry clear the scene like an AK. Full body protection looking clean.
Yeah, see what we got. Ooh, you hit him, Baba. Ooh. Hey, dude, who this messing my count up? Alive for your breath. I told you we was gonna hit. Yeah. Shoot, I'm counting me and Baba out right now. I'm waiting on Sunday to come out, hit her. We good. She finding out right now. We checking it. Hold on. Good. About to hit them again.